So, welcome everybody to today's presentation. I was about to say tonight, but it's not night for everybody. It's night for some of us. Okay. So, I'm from Arleen. I'm based in Australia, and I came to LifeWave in the end of November, beginning of December through Merle. We were at one of our monthly meetings, and she just mentioned this LifeWave thing on the side, and I got such a strong impulse that I decided I had to do this thing. And I'm so glad I did because I started doing some of the research and I discovered that if you combine some of these patches, it can work on osteoporosis. And that's one of the big things I was wanting to find some help with. I'd had cancer and I'd had open heart surgery. So my bones were very weak from, they do this lovely thing in open heart surgery. They just cut you right down the middle and open your chest up. So, when they wire you up, it's a little bit delicate there. So with weak bones, I really wanted to work on something that would help with that. And so when I read about that, I got very excited and very happy that I'd signed up. So some of the sort of experiences I've had, I've put my hair out today because this is one of the funny things that has happened as a side effect. That is my natural hair color. I'm 57 years old, and I used to be Snow White on the sides, and well, as you can see, that's not Snow White at all. Um, my skin is improved. I used to have old granny hands and now I don't. The elasticity of my skin is just bouncing back. This is the newest thing that's happened. So I'm really, I get very excited about it. I sit and stare at my hands because they don't wrinkle anymore. And when I pull the skin, it just goes bonk right back. So that's exciting because it's showing that the collagen production in my body, internal and external, has improved. And that was proven really recently. One of the side effects of having had all that surgery is I was having gastric reflux every day. And if you have a lot of gastric reflux, and they also discovered I'd had a bacterial infection, they were expecting that I would have an inflammation in my esophagus and my colon. So we just did a endoscope Friday, and there's no traces of inflammation everywhere. Even though I still have the reflux, there's no traces of inflammation. There's no lesions in my gut at all. And I just got really excited because I went, there's no ways there can be no inflammation after 2 years of constant acid reflux. There's no ways. And yet there's no trace of it. So they're looking at me very confused, going, well, you've got the reflux and but the imaging is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So it's very exciting. It just shows me that it's working on the inside. So for people who start patching and they're worried, they're not seeing a sign, it's working from the inside out. Okay. And I've seen that because I've done other blood tests, having had cancer. I also had fibromyalgia and a lot of inflammation in my body. And when I went to see my naturopath and he did the blood tests, we could see the actual blood on dark field, my propsy. I could never say that word, but you know what I mean. Um, and instead of my cells being all packed up tightly, they were floating around like crazy and they were flying around. And I could actually even see the little somatids, which are these little active little life force energy of the cells floating around. It was incredible to see my blood because the time I'd gone before, the platelets were stacked together like pancakes, and now they were out and floating around everywhere. I mean, that's incredible when you see that and you know what your results were before. As to fibromyalgia, that's a thing of the past because I don't have it anymore. I don't have all the inflammation in my body. My foot pains disappeared. My blood pressure's back to normal, and I have a lot of energy and I'm growing muscles. So I get very proud of this because I've been picking up 20-kilogram sacks of stone. My mother paints rocks and I buy them in 20-kilogram bags. And I literally picked up that bag and hoisted it up, having had surgery across here and surgery across there, where I was only able to pick up teacups for months on end, and that was all, to hoisting 20-kilogram sacks of rocks. And the sack is like this. So that's heavy. So I'm seriously impressed. I'm very, very, very impressed with what it's done for me. For my mother, who's 83, she's got a lot more energy. Her memory's improved. Her blood pressure's improved. She's been on blood pressure medication for 30 years. And now it's reading stable, which is profound, you know. The funniest thing, she's beginning to grow black hair. She's been Snow White for about 30 years. And she came running to me the other day and she said, look, look, look. And there's literally black hairs starting all over her head. I'm going to have this old woman with dark hair in my house. It's very funny. So that's a little bit of an introduction about LifeWave. Now, the other side of it that I'm going to tell you about, having been in the situation I was, I couldn't work for 5 months, and I'm single income family earner. You know what it's like if you don't have a salary for 5 months. It's hectic and put me into a lot of debt and a lot of stress. So one of the other things I was looking for was for a second source of income that would work if I couldn't work. LifeWave has been paying my rent consistently since February. My rent is $600 a week. So that's the minimum I've been earning since February. I've been earning a lot more than that. I've even had a holiday, which is the first time in years I went on a holiday. So LifeWave has changed my life, not only physically, emotionally, mentally, and on what else, but it's also changed my life financially. So that's my little story. I'm going to pass you on to Merle. She can tell you why she does LifeWave.
Thanks, Arleen. So I was introduced to LifeWave in December 2022 by a very good friend, Candice, who's also a therapist. She does access bars. Arleen and I do life alignment, and Adrian and Paula and who else on the call, but a lot of people, and Rosemary and Roz, and so half the people on more than half the people on the call. And I'm also a nutritionist. And when I heard about it, it sounded amazing, but I was over network marketing. I wasn't going to ever do it again. But I signed up on Silver because I thought my hubby has tinnitus and I had heard incredible results about tinnitus. So I thought, well, if this helps his tinnitus, then this is the way to go. Now, I have to say that there are people in my network whose tinnitus has gone in 4 days, and they're in their 60s and they've had it since they were in the South African Defence Force. My husband's has got better, but it is still there. However, he patches every day, as does my 20-year-old. My 20-year-old has started telling people about patching, lecturers at chef school, friends, whatever. And when they say, well, what are you talking about? Because he's just talking, he wasn't going to build a business. Now I think he might. He says, well, my dad and I quite skeptical about these kind of things, but we feel a difference. So we patch every day. And it was so funny because I asked him why he had told the brewing lecturer, and she's a scientist at chef school, about patches. He goes, well, I told Megan, he sent me the message. And that was only a few weeks ago. So he's just started telling people. And he didn't patch when we started. But anyway, I started, and then I'd injured my shoulder in 2012 doing a fitness competition. And I went to the chiro 2-3 times a month to keep everything together. We did obviously alignment on it, all kinds of energy work, and nothing helped. Within a week of patching, I could sleep with my arm under the pillow again the first time. Now, I know you're not meant to do that, and I don't as a rule, but I could actually put my arm under the pillow again. I couldn't do that before. And about a couple of weeks after that, just before Christmas, a friend phoned me complaining about her shoulder and said, 3 months, I can't play tennis. My shoulder's messed. I've just come back from the physio. And I told her about LifeWave, sent her a few x39. It was all I had the next day with my husband. And she was a one-patch wonder. 23 minutes later, she was putting a cup in the cupboard, and her husband said, look at you, you're putting a cup in the cupboard. She said, but that's what we do. He said, but you haven't been able to put your head, your arm above your shoulder in months. And she signed up. She did some research, started patching her mum with Alzheimer's. And her mum is in a different town, so she was sending patches to the home and giving the nursing staff instructions. It had a huge impact on her mother. And then in January, another of my Life Alignment clients and students saw me and she said, you're looking good, what are you doing? And I told Nina when she signed up, and she then told Karen. Now, Karen is a long-time client of mine, and I always have to tell her story because it's so emotional, and that's why I have built a LifeWave network. So Karen had a car accident 34 years ago where she had what's known as a hangman's injury. So it's an internal decapitation. Normally you're dead if that happens to you. So it took them 5 years to find out why she kept going paralyzed. So she went paralyzed in South Africa, the UK, America. Every time they x-rayed, they said it must be soft tissue because her skull was moving off her spine because it wasn't attached, and it was damaging her spinal cord, but her spinal cord wasn't severed. But every time they x-rayed, they weren't seeing that. So eventually, when they're 5 years down the line, they discovered what was wrong. They got a whole lot of surgeons together, decided what to do, and they reattached her skull to her spine and then did bone grafts from her hips. But all that titanium that they used, she calls it her barbed wire, caused a whole lot of scarring. So she had 5 years of damage, then all of the scarring. And by January last year, Karen had not driven a car in 12 years. She wore a huge neck brace that actually rested on her shoulders. She rested for a whole week if she even wanted to go out for a girls' lunch. Then somebody would fetch her, take her. She might last an hour, and then they would take her home again, take another week to recover. Within a month of starting to patch with X39, she ran out of patches because everyone was saying, oh my goodness, you're looking so good. We're coming for, barbecue or braai, as we called it in South Africa. And she was lasting with her guests, which she wasn't doing before. And sitting outside, before people would come to her home, she would end up after half an hour or so going to lie down, and then friends would go and sit and chat to her in her bedroom. I mean, she basically lived in bed. And so she was patching other people with great results. And she said, I've run out. I can't go without patches. I've ordered more. Can I borrow from you? So I said, absolutely. She said, we'll come and fetch. So I thought her husband Sean would come past, because she doesn't drive. And she arrived driving his car. When I saw that, I realized that this was something absolutely life-changing. By Easter, she got a passport for the first time in years, and she went to Mozambique on holiday with her family. By September, she went to Greece with her husband and walked 15,000 steps a day. So she went from no more neck brace. She's living her best life. She's just bought her own new car. So when I saw what was happening to Karen, I realized what we had our hands on, and that I had to spread the word. And it wasn't something that I could just use and go, well, I don't like multi-level marketing. Saying that, LifeWave is an amazing company. I'll talk about that later. When I started doing the research, we're stable, the company's incredibly ethical, everybody is amazing, and I see why it is a multi-level marketing company. Because if somebody doesn't tell you about this product and doesn't tell you stories, you are going to go, okay, well, there's a sleeve of patches. What on earth does it do? So I'm going to hand over to Arleen. She's going to do the product side, and then I will talk about the business. So over to you, Arleen.
Thank you. So you're going to just get Merle to share the screen. And while she's doing that, I just want to make one more comment on this. One of the big things I love about this business is the community. It's an incredibly supportive community. We're making lots of friends, lots of connections, and just so much fun and so much support. It's a really big part of the business is the community. So the question we always ask people is, have you been patched yet? Some of you have not yet got your patches. Some have not even yet signed up, and some have been patching like we have for a while yet. You don't talk about the patches without talking about David Schmidt. David Schmidt is the inventor and the CEO of the company. And he has actually over 150 or 180 patents by now. He stopped counting a long time ago. David Schmidt is not a doctor. He's a scientist and he's an inventor. He grew up wanting to be an inventor, always said he wanted to invent, and that's what he's done with his life. He specializes in age reversing, not anti-aging, age reversing. And in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research because that was all the rage back then. He has got many other patches and he had been doing many other sorts of things by then. But in 2008, he started really working on the x39 patch, which is focusing on stem cells. And this patent around x39 took 10 years to get to market and $4.5 million to bring it to market. So this is a patented technology. A patent implies that it is unique and that everything that the patent says can be proven. So this is scientifically backed research. It's not just some mental thing. What does the patent actually say? It says that this is an embodiment as a result of elevating copper peptides, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, and elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of copper collagen production, and improvement of healing. So you have to be able to prove all of this. The fact that this is listed in a patent means that the research to back it up is there, and it's all proven technology, which is what I love about this. So why the x39 stem cell patch? Like I said, there are many other patches and I'm in love with them all, but we're going to focus on this one because this has become the key patch of the company. As you age, you produce less, and well, you have stem cells, but there's less and less of them that are activated. So when you're young, a stem cell is the very first cell that you're created with. And then after a few weeks, those cells start to differentiate into different organs and glands. So it's the blank cell which can become any other cell. And there's a lot of market of research happening out there in stem cells. There's huge market in stem cells, but it's a very, very expensive business and very hard to get hold of, very expensive, and not all countries have it available. So as you age, your body has the stem cells, but they're not activated. And so you will find that you age faster and you heal slower, and it takes a lot longer for you to heal because you just don't have those active stem cells, so that those damaged cells are no longer being replaced. And millions of people are obviously aging and experiencing the symptoms of aging. Did you know that by the time you're 30, only half of your stem cells are actually active in your body, and that by the time you're 60, you've lost almost all stem cell activity, which is why it's so much harder for us as we age to actually heal. So how does the x39 stem cell patch work? It is a proprietary form of phototherapy. Phototherapy is not new. It's been around for a very long time. And in its most basic form, if a baby is born and it's jaundiced, they put it under lights. So, light therapy, there's so many different forms of light therapy out there in the world. But this is a patented nanocrystal technology, meaning that it's a strip. Inside that strip, the little white patch that you find, where am I wearing one over here? That little white bit in the middle, that is made of nanocrystals that are made of amino acids, salts, water, and they are put in different peptides, and they're created in a particular lattice structure that can reflect a particular frequency. So the way it works, it reflects light. So you put the patch in your body, it's non-transdermal, nothing's going into your skin, okay? What's actually happening is the light of your skin. You know that if you wear infrared glasses, you can see people because they reflect light out of their body. It's that light that activates the nanocrystals and the frequency of those nanocrystals to reflect the signal that they contain back into your body to signal your body to activate stem cells in the case of the x39 patch. So that's what's happening. There's no chemicals, there's no stimulants, it's completely non-invasive, okay? It's just merely signaling your body to activate its own stem cells. They're not coming from anywhere else, they're coming from your own body, and it's signaling your body to heal itself, which is what I love about it. So what are the benefits that you can expect from x39? And these are all proven. Increased strength. Yeah, we know that happens for me, right? Reduction of inflammation. I don't have all the inflammation markers I used to have. I don't have the pain in my feet. Increased stamina. I can walk longer. I can run. I can bounce in a rebounder. It's amazing. Increased energy and vitality. Mental clarity, which is a very common thing. This is what most people notice first up, is the mental clarity that you get. Restored muscular and skeletal conditions, one of the primary reasons why I'm on the patches. Improvement of sleep. Now that's very important because you heal when you sleep. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not getting enough time for your body to rest and rejuvenate. So the better you sleep, the better and deeper the healing. And improved skin appearance. Well, Merle and I can definitely testify to that one. So it's optimal health that's achieved. It's a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being, okay? So this is a very interesting slide. This is the topography map of a brain. This is a whole research they did. This is just this the one woman's slide, but they did this research on a whole group of people, so it's not a one-off. The first session, this is before she patches. She's 77 years old, and this is a map of the brain. The red that you can see in that slide is showing a lot of inflammation in the brain, a lot of mental activity going on, a lack of brain coherence happening. In session 2, that's 3 weeks after using the X39, there's no more inflammation. You can see there's a lot more blue there. There's a lot more brain coherence happening. 6 weeks later, they do another scan, and you can see again the complete turnaround of the brain. There's a better brain coherence. And so this whole impact on the brain with the patches is ongoing. So yeah, in the beginning, her brain was hyperactive, and you can see by the end of this second and third sessions, her brain has dramatically calmed down, okay? So the long-term results of the X39. All of these results you can find on thisisitinfo.com. That's a very important website, thisisitinfo.com, and we'll refer to it again later. So everything that I'm going to tell you about here, you can see on the case studies, and it has been proven. So within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. 4,000, that's a lot. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced, like you saw in the previous slide. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. We're very happy about that. And the thing about collagen, it's not just on the outside of your body and your skin or in the internal of your gut lining. It's all over your body. Your body needs collagen everywhere in order to be able to function. So that's incredibly important that your collagen is increasing. Within 6 months, your heart actually reverses in age. Reverses in age, which is extremely important. I think it's about 8 years too. So it's a big thing. And this is all proven, remember? It's proven results. So it's not anti-aging, it's literally age reversing. This is not some cream and then you'd apply it and then you have to apply it and then you have to apply it. This is literally, these wrinkles have disappeared. This is firmed up. So it's literally age reversing, okay? How do you wear the X39 patch? You wear your patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. That's the optimal time to wear a patch. You wear it for 12 hours, that activates it, and then the 12 hours off gives your body time to rest and repair and rejuvenate. Once you've worn your patch, there's still a little bit of charge left in the patch. If you like your partner and the person that's living with you, they can wear the patch for a few hours, you know, the residue of the patch, or your children or your pets or your pot plants. My pot plants gets my patches and they're doing very well on patches. The next day you put a new patch on, okay? And you just keep doing that. You can wear more than one type of patch at a time. So you wouldn't wear necessarily 2 X39s at the same time because you're only going to get 20% of increase in efficiency or effectiveness by wearing the second one. But what you can do is you can say wear an X39 and an Aeon, or an X39 and a glutathione at the same time. And then in the evening, there are evening patches. There's the sleep patches. There's the Aeon patches for inflammation, or there's the aloe vera one, which is fantastic for sleep. It works on the pineal gland. It works on the skin. So there are different combinations of patches you can wear, like you can see with Paula and her very pretty face with her little cheeks and brow there. You can wear a combination of the patches, but you don't wear the same one, you know, at the same time. You drink lots of water because you will go through a detox. Remember, you're going to be replacing old worn out cells, so the body's going to detox. So you drink a lot of water. It's also good for the electrolytes. You want to add electrolytes because your body works on electricity. So adding electrolytes and water helps the whole thing function a lot better too. Thank you.
Sorry, it was taking a while to change.
That's all right. So the X39, it's a very sophisticated patch, but it's very, very simple. And the testimonies are absolutely life-changing and emotional, and it works. So we're going to break right now. We're going to have just open up the room so that other people here can share with you their stories. It's not just Merle and I that are having this experience. So we'd like to open it up. And if anybody would like to share one of their stories, they're most welcome. Just wave your hand. Mm. Paula.
Yeah, hi. Okay, apart from this temporary clogged nose and thing, but when I started, and I've always been very active, sportive, and by after a big loss, menopause, COVID, etc., I had lost completely my energy. My muscles weren't there anymore. I could barely do 10 minutes yoga, and that was it. I would go food shopping and would get back home. I had to lie on the couch because I just didn't have the energy. And so I had to recuperate. I couldn't go to the gym anymore. I mean, and it was really sad because thinking of how I was. And so when I started the X39, I started X39 and Ian. And in a couple of days, my God, like, wow, my energy was back. And I started to go to the gym, and my strength also. I had to, to calibrate the weight that I was lifting, because I could do that, but I knew my muscle weren't trained anymore. So the energy was really incredible. My mood, the mood just, I was feeling so happy, and I'd been depressed. So that was really, really great. And then on the long run, my intestine has been a big problem. So I noticed an improvement, but not so much in the beginning. Then I added a protocol, and now I'm doing so much better. But in the long run, my skin, my hair thickened a lot. And I took pictures this past summer, and my body, gosh, everybody was like, wow, you look like a model. And yeah, I went back to what I used to be, and better, really better. I really noticed the work that the X39 does. Really, working on that lean muscle mass. So that's incredible. And so I'm really, really, really amazed. And with my mom, she's 89 and with Parkinson. And she walks with a walker, and she's not self-sufficient. So, and she was always very tired and confused. She wasn't there with her mind, with her. And so I started with X39 and Eon. And for the first day, she slept like a baby, and she suffers from insomnia. But I noticed that I added carnosine, and her, her mental activity improved so much. She was back, present, and my mom again. And what I noticed, it was very important, and I didn't pay that much attention in the beginning, is the electrolytes. Because she was tired. She was improving, but she was tired. And this past summer here in Europe, it was really, really hot. And she's 90. I managed to take her to the beach every day. And that's big. I mean, there were people in their 60s who couldn't just get out of their place because it was too hot, and we were going to the beach. But I added electrolytes, and I saw, because I noticed that it's like the body really engages. And so it's like opening a building site in your body. And so she needed that, conductivity and help for the patches to work their best. So I really noticed that the electrolytes really make a difference in the effectiveness of the patches. And so now she has mental clarity. She went back. Her anxiety diminished so much. She almost had panic attacks every other day. And so that improved, and she's going back to, visit friends. And she has she looks at the future now, and even if she's 90. And she started to, to be stronger. she walked a lot. We had a garden, so it was easier. But I mean, and her friends noticed that. So I'm gonna do a presentation for the older ladies now.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
Paula.
you.
And I can say I went to go look because Paula said, have I seen her pictures on Facebook of her in a bikini? And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
looking amazing.
Mm.
Really, really amazing. So go and have a look if you haven't. If you're friends with Paula, you have to look.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. Would
Thank
anybody
you.
else like to share?
Caroline. I can see Caroline is going to.
I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share. A lot of you have heard my story, but I'm happy to share. I started life. I started x39 actually in end of February. No, beginning of February actually. And I didn't feel much to begin with. Actually, the first 2 weeks I was a bit like, can't really feel anything. Actually, thinking back on it, I had quite a bit detox. I got a migraine the second day I was using it. And I only get them very rarely. And I think that was massive detox that just happened then. And I haven't had one since, and that's now 6 months ago. So that's great. But yeah, I had a bit of a detox to begin with, but otherwise I didn't really feel anything until one morning when I woke up and I thought, I am sleeping so much better. My sleep is deep. I'm refreshed when I wake up. And I can actually remember my dreams, which is another thing that hadn't happened for a very long time. So that was the first little bit. And I thought, if this is all I get for now, I'm very happy because I just started feeling really kind of energetic and yeah, just didn't feel that need to kind of nap or in the afternoon or any dips like that. And then the reason I had started was that I had a really, really bad knee and I was very keen to fix it. I'd been trying to bend my knee for years and years and doing yoga poses, and that was impossible. And even doing lots of qigong and doing stuff like that, I hadn't really sorted it out. I'd seen several, people to try and fix it and didn't really ever get any better. Within about 3 months, I was starting to bend that knee again. And I think 4 months down the line, I was squatting, which I was super, super pleased about because I had not been able to do that for years and years. And I could sit down and get up without using my hands. It's one of those little measurements you do to see how old you potentially are in your body. And I'm now able to sit on my bottom, get up, cross-legged without using my hands. And I'm super pleased with that at the age of 65. So, actually, I'm 66, damn it. I've just remembered. I just had a birthday. Anyway, so that in itself was amazing. And then I've had and I'm still patching 6 months in, hoping to get some more benefits. General aches and pains are simply just disappearing. I can stretch my fingers out completely. One of my fingers, this one, was completely like that. I couldn't stretch it out, and that's pretty straight now. So I'm super pleased with that as well. My rings can fit me again. And so there's a lot going on the inside of my body as well in terms of my probably low-lying arthritis that I would think I was suffering from. So yeah, very happy.
Thanks, Caroline. You muted, Arleen.
I was just saying thank you. And Michael, you have your hand raised.
Yes, hello. I've only been in just under a month, so I'll have to wait a bit. But I would like to know, when you talk about what it's done for you, how long it's taken, because my particular problems are osteoarthritis in the back and the knee from a skiing accident 3 decades ago. And I said to the wonderful Kim, who got me into the business, I'm not going to start the business until those pains have gone. And I've changed my mind. So now I'm starting to build the business. Very excited. And but I would like to know from Paula why she's wearing 3 on her face and why they're only half open.
Okay, so this is a protocol for clogged nose. So takes 3, actually 4, because here I have a double patch, and I'm using just half the adhesive because I wanted to be able and change the positioning that I had to. Okay, so it would stick properly with the other half of the adhesive. That's the only reason.
But why are you
So
taking them?
Okay,
What?
because she's got a blocked nose, she can't breathe properly. She's sick. So it's a protocol to clear the blocked nose.
Why does she have to wear 3?
Because it's a protocol. So it's different patches that are being used in a protocol. Because
What's the
Apollo's
protocol?
had a blocked nose for several days.
Sorry, what's the protocol?
So a protocol is a different way of using patches, different patches in a combination.
Okay.
So,
So
there,
that's
there
about-
are different ways that we can. Caroline, do you want to?
No, I
Say
was
something.
sorry, Merle, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was just looking at it this morning because I printed out a book that there is online, an old book, yeah, and also in the patch manual, there is a couple of suggested protocols that were used before X39, is that right, Merle? Before X39 came
Yes.
out. And those pictures will suggest try this, try that, try this with different things. And I was trying to look at Carlos this morning as well and thinking, oh, where did she find it? I must have it somewhere. So it's just a suggestion to try to work on a specific area with different patches. And I think, Paul, did you have you have aeon, glutathione, and
I
carnosine?
have and glutathione, carnosine, and glutathione.
Okay.
So I put glutathione. I went in all in, and then I have, and then I have the x39 at the base of my throat.
And then, Michael, your next question about how long does it take? Every single person has a different operating system. So David Schmidt says everyone should patch for 3 months. Alex, who is one of the team members, says she thinks that's too short. She has something called polymyalgia. It took her 10 months to be pain-free. She had a lot of other improvements in between. You may have heard Alex's story. She often presents with me on a Monday night, sometimes on a Wednesday too. But it took her 10 months to be pain-free. But in the meantime, her sleep improved, her hair grew back, her wrinkles started going. So you can't just, so nobody can tell you how long it's going to take. Or even if someone has got a similar problem to you, and they say it took me this long, your black box is different to their black box, your operating system. So because somebody else had a result in a week doesn't mean that even if you've got the same condition, that you will have the same result in a week. Because your diet will be different, your hydration levels, the amount of exercise you've done, the supplementation you've done over the years, your age, how bad the condition is. Now, last night, Claire shared her testimony on the Monday night call. She has had bilateral hip replacement and a knee replacement. She was on handfuls of painkillers to be able to sleep. She has osteoarthritis, which is how she's ended up with, she got osteorheumatoid, sorry. But anyway, that's how she's ended up with all the damaged joints and why she's had to have the replacements. She, in other calls, has said she used to walk like an Egyptian. She now walks properly. She started patching in December. It didn't happen overnight, but she's now off all medication. Her blood tests show that her inflammatory markers have gone from between 19 and 30 to 3. That's her CRP levels. CRP should be under 5, so she's now 3, which is amazing. And she was in stage 3 kidney disease because of all the medication she's taken. And you go by stage 5, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By stage 5, you're on dialysis, so she was heading to stage 5. She has reversed it to stage 2. So she saw her endocrinologist a couple of weeks ago, and her endocrinologist now wants info on the patches because it's reversed. But she started patching in December. So changes have happened over time. So we can't give you a timeline. Nobody can.
Merle, you mentioned aged. The older you are, does it take longer?
Not necessarily. I said
Good.
the age, how long you've had the condition for. So we've had people with Alzheimer's who very quickly are more alert, have changes. I've got people in their 70s who 2 weeks after starting to patch, the doctor's taken them off blood pressure meds that they've been on for 30 years because their blood pressure is normalized and the doctor said can't give you meds anymore. They're gone for their 6-monthly checkup. So no, not necessarily. As I say, everybody's black box is different.
Thank you.
Okay. I hope that helps.
Yep, thank you.
Right. Arleen, should we go back to the business part?
Yes, let's do the business part.
Perfect. One more slide for you as soon as it pulls up and I can move it.
Yes. So this is it info.com website. Everything that we spoke about, you can actually find on this website. So take a snapshot of it, have a look at it. It is a very important website. It has got videos on it. It's got all the different research available on it, and every information you could want is on that website. It's very important.
I'll just give you a minute to take a picture if that's what you're going to do, and then we will move into the business part. Okay, so as you heard me say at the beginning, I was never going to share this with anyone. So when I signed up for the product. I wasn't going to do the business. So I didn't look at the business. But in February last year, so it was 3 months in when I decided I'm going to tell people, I thought best I look at the business. At that stage, the company was 19 years old. We turned 20 this year. And last month, I was on the company's 20th anniversary cruise. So I've actually met David Schmitz. And in fact, I've been on stage with him. And I have a photo with him, with my husband photobombing in the back. My eyes are closed, but anyway. And Henrietta, one of our brand partners, has imposed her face on the photobomber. So with Candace and I, it's quite interesting. Anyway, we're a 20-year-old company now. In network marketing, that's really important because most companies don't last past 5 years. The really important thing to note as well is how this company is growing. Over the last few years, we've grown by 3,000%. So we went from a $20 million turnover in 2021, and this is all because x39 was launched. This year, we're going to do over 600 million. In fact, across all the regions this year, the company has already exceeded last year's turnover. And last year, we did 430 million. So we've already exceeded that, and we're heading towards 600 million for the year. We're now open in over 80 countries. And for anybody who is in network marketing already, the exciting thing about LifeWave is we are not a Me Too product. Now, there are incredible companies out there with incredible products, weight loss products, skincare, supplements. But if I come to you and say, I've got a weight loss shake, you're going to go, you might go, well, I have one too. And somebody might sign up to buy it, but then when money's tight, they're going to go buy a shake because they're not going to look at the ingredients or think, well, why is this better than something else? Unless they're really into the research, they are going to go to the supermarket and maybe they can buy 3 for the same price as one from you. And that's where we have the advantage. You can only buy product from us if you buy it at retail, like my local pharmacy. They have been retailing the product for over a year now. They use it in their clinic, especially for pain and inflammation. If you go there, though, you're going to be paying the retail price, which for x39 is 50% more. Right, if you go to businessforhome.org, which is a list of multi-level marketing companies, you will see that we are ranked at the top of the list, which is very exciting, and it's because of our growth. And there are 170 different companies listed there. So this is a team, which is a team we belong to. It's under Steve and Gina Merritt. In January, we had a team convention, and corporate were there, and corporate showed that from June last year, our team overtook every other team in the company, and Steve and Gina only joined in July last year. At the time, they were the fastest people ever in the company to go to senior presidential director. They did it in 28 days. It took me from December 2022 till August this year to do it. Okay, so that's still quite quick, but they did it in 28 days. Now, this slide is another award we won this year, which is the 2024 Global Bravo Award as the #1 company in network marketing. On the right is Meredith, our president, accepting the award. On the left is our team conference last year. There's Steve and Gina. Steve is in the black shirt, Gina in the pantsuit, along with our president, Meredith, and David Schmitz, who spoke at our team conference. Now, that is amazing. Whenever we have a team conference, this is a team, David comes and speaks. So it's not just about corporate events. He's happy to work with those teams that are really exploding LifeWave. He's absolutely passionate about spreading the word, and he comes and talks about product, obviously, and his vision. So at this point, we're going to pivot, and we're going to ask, what is most important in your life? Is it your family? Do you need more time? Do you want the freedom? Like Arleen said earlier, she went on her first holiday in many years. Normally, if Arleen goes away, and she's been to Europe, etc., she goes on a teaching holiday. So she combines teaching, life alignment with whatever else. The holiday she's just been on, she actually went away. She did no work, which was amazing. And she's going to be going to Da Nang in Vietnam in November for the 20th anniversary, which is really exciting too. That's her first incentive. Caroline's going to be with me in Morocco. She's qualified for the incentive. So the company really does reward you. So if you want to travel, once you know the financial security or the health security, but you want to travel too, we can help you to do that. By the time I go to Morocco, it will be my 4th trip this year with LifeWave, which is amazing. My husband yesterday was talking to a colleague and said, well, I can't talk to you on Thursday. I can't meet with you on Thursday morning because we're going for our American visas. And the guy said, are you actually ever here? You know, you've just come back from the cruise. Now you're going to America. You know, and then we're going to Morocco. Anyway, I joined for better health. I did, however, have a whole lot of debt at the time, and I can happily say that I am completely debt-free. So we have an incredible compensation plan in LifeWave. It can be confusing if you don't know anything about it. I'm going to skim through this and then tell you where you can go and watch an hour-long YouTube that explains it in perfect detail. So obviously we get, if somebody invited you to the call today and you sign up under them, they will get a product introductory bonus. If you sign up a customer, you are going to get rewarded for that customer every month, because every month as the order goes through, they'll get wholesale price, but you will get commission plus you will get their volume. What we like to do is say, if you want to come in and you want to make this business work, like Arleen did. Arleen came in on gold. She even spent her car service money on coming in. And that was because she'd done research and said, this sounds amazing. And she started telling people. Before she even put a patch on her body, she had made her money back. And I think she was a manager by then too. And the managers, you just tell 4 friends. And you put 2 of them on your left leg, 2 of them on your right leg. You bring them on a presentation like this, and you become a manager. And by becoming a manager, you open up the binary compensation plan. And that compensation plan can help you get $100 a week, $500 a week, $1,000 a week, all the way up to $25,000 a week as a senior presidential director is what you capped at. I'm earning nowhere near that yet as a senior presidential director, but I know many people personally, and I've seen their back offices who are. So you open up that compensation plan. We also have something called matching bonuses. Matching bonuses are very exciting because as you help your people to build a team, you get rewarded. So if Arleen earns $1,000 of cycle bonuses in a week, I am going to get 25% of that, but not of Arleen's money. She's still going to get her $1,000. The company are going to say, Merle, you've done a great job helping Arleen, so we're going to give you $250 because you helped her. And if then Adrian is under Arleen, he would be my second line, or he is my second line. Every cycle bonus Adrian gets, I get 20% of it, but Arleen gets 25, but he still gets the full amount. And then if, say, Michael was my third line, every cycle that he got, I would get 20% of too. That is capped at 3 lines, but the more people you have in your business, the more people you're getting those cycle matching bonuses on, and it's very, very exciting. Now, how do you get started? David Schmidt says everybody should patch for 3 months. So when I signed up, I came in on silver. I was never building a business. My husband and I were going to patch. I knew I could upgrade. That's the great thing about LifeWave. You can upgrade by paying the difference and getting the difference in product. So I thought, oh, well, we'll have enough product for a month and a half, and then we'll upgrade to gold. But I've stayed active all the time because we started seeing results. So if you come in on silver, it's going to cost you $299.95. You can get 3 sleeves of X39. If you decide, like Arleen, that you're going to go all out, you can come in on gold. You can get 5 sleeves of X39, plus you get given a free supplementary sleeve. So that's something like LifeWave or Eon or Beautify or one of the other patches that Paula has on her face today. They are $69.95 if you buy them individually. You can also replace an X39 with 2 others. If you're really serious about building, or you like my pharmacy and you're going to use a lot of product, you can come in on diamond. It's $1,600. You get 19 sleeves of X39s. The price drops to $84 a sleeve, plus a supplementary sleeve. My pharmacy was skeptical. They came in on silver with Aeon and LifeWave to patch patients. The results they saw in the first week, they upgraded to diamond in the first week. And they've been patching ever since in clinic. They've had to employ a second nursing sister. They are so busy because of people coming in for pain management with patching and the results they're having. Once you are in the business, if you're wanting to keep that volume to get cycle bonuses, you need to stay active. And the person who invited you here today can explain exactly what that would entail and how much product you would need to buy. But it's very little. As a senior presidential director, I only need 2 sleeves of X39 a month to stay active. We use much more. My husband, son, and I all patched with X39 every day. That's already 3 sleeves. I'm already overachieving. And then I have Eon on my hand today. I'm patched with X49. We use most of the patches. But go back to the person who invited you. They'll tell you exactly what patch will work for you and your needs, what package. We also have This Is a Team website. So as I said, I have flown through the compensation plan because most people get a glazed look when we talk about it. Much better that you go to This Is a Team. Across the top, you'll find a section that says compensation plan. And I think Danny McDaniel gives the best explanation of it. It's an hour long, but if you want to know the compensation plan, go to This Is a Team and watch Danny McDaniel explaining it. This is like if you bought a franchise, you would be given books and courses and whatever on how you're going to run your franchise. Think about LifeWave as your own franchise, and you're bringing in people who are going to do the same thing. If you go to This Is a Team, every single thing you need to know about building the business is there. How you onboard people, how you should build. Steve Merle explains it really well. How the compensation plan works. Everything is there for you. Even when you start getting your first commission, the information is there on how do you set up your e-wallet. It's all there. It's another incredibly important site. So if you're new to LifeWave and you don't know that much yet, or you're thinking of joining and you want to know more about the comp plan, thisisateam.com is where you go. So the time is now to make your move. So what is your dream? Is your dream to have better health? Like Arleen didn't want to have injections that had kind of plastic in for her osteoporosis. So her dream was to reverse that, but she also had a dream to make money, or she calls it her little green numbers. And she's fulfilling both of those. So everything has changed for her. So there is hope for your future. When I joined, I didn't know how we were ever going to be debt free. I was only doing this product, but now we are debt free, and now I can dream again. We're landscaping our garden, we're doing changes inside, and we're traveling. It's absolutely amazing. So get started with X39, go back to the person who invited you to the presentation and say, well, what do I actually need to do to get started? How do I come into this? So hopefully we've given you enough information to get going. So back to you, Arleen.
So thank you very much, everybody, for being part of this.